Thank you. I wanted to talk about the special city council meeting that I saw on Tuesday and how disturbing that was to me, the way the council misrepresented things. You used fear, misleading claims about where the money would go. You attacked people who disagreed with you, and frankly, you had an astonishing level of disdain for the public that was not a very good look. Dan said that because 2/3 of the general fund is police and fire, opposing the tax means cutting police and fire. He said there's no two ways around it. The math is the math. Alex warned about libraries, Meals on Wheels, seniors needing air-conditioned facilities, and asked, where are we going to find the money to keep these facilities open? These are extraordinarily dangerous things to say to voters and completely misleading. This is a general sales tax. The revenue goes into the general fund. It is not, I repeat, not legally mandated to use it for police, fire, libraries, Meals on Wheels, or senior facilities unless the council decides at some date. So to tell people that that's what's happening is misleading. You decide where the money is spent. You can do that all throughout the year. So if you're going to frighten people with the possibility of losing police and firefighters, libraries, and services for seniors, you should make it absolutely clear that voting to put the sales tax on the ballot would not guarantee what you said it was going to guarantee. Then there's the contempt directed at anyone who dared to question the tax. Dan said people want to have good things and they don't want to pay for them. He challenged Mr. Gharpetian and members of the public to have the courage to find $10 million in cuts. But why is that only Mr. Gharpetian's job? Why is that the public's job? Why isn't it his job? Instead, Mr. Gharpetian took a principled position against imposing additional costs on residents who are looking at yet another GWP increase in November. And somehow he's the one who has to prove he has courage. And Alex's tone towards Mr. Gharpetian was very, very arrogant, as far as I'm concerned. Saying you needed to have an amazing out-of-the-box, something from him. Why didn't you have an amazing out-of-the-box suggestion for cuts? He's a seasoned council member. You've been there for 5 seconds. Artie was more direct with his insults, saying that claiming there are other ways to balance the budget is ignorant and blind. I don't know. Was that supposed to be an argument? And moments later, backtracked and told everyone we shouldn't allow disagreements to divide the community, that we should work together. You don't get to call a colleague ignorant and blind and then lecture everyone else about civility. Come on. Artie also acknowledged something extremely important. He said this tax will take more money away from seniors on Social Security, take away money from working families, and will affect Glendale businesses. So council knows the tax imposes a burden on residents already struggling with the cost of living, but wants to do it anyway. Good for us to know you're really looking out for us. He then warned that city employees would take their talents elsewhere if Glendale can't give them more money, which raises a serious question. How much of this projected $11 million is supposed to be used for salaries, benefits, and compensation? All of it? Were members of the public and businesses supposed to suffer so you could hand out higher salaries? Then we heard about Glendale's supposedly desperate financial condition, a fiscal emergency, which is actually a legal term that needed to be used to put the sales tax on the ballot. Alex called it precarious. Precarious is not a synonym for emergency. Artie said that just because the city council never used the word emergency before, that was okay because he used euphemisms. Ellen's comments revealed something important about her campaign because she described the deteriorating fire stations and a police station where buckets were needed when it rained. She called the condition of our city embarrassing and that she was finally going public with it. I agree it is embarrassing, but Ellen was already on council for 4 years. If these conditions were so serious that they're now being used to justify an emergency tax measure, why did she keep silent about it all through her campaign? Didn't the public deserve to know during her campaign that she didn't fix the situation she had 4 years to fix? And finally, there's the timing. This was certainly crammed in at the last minute with a 10:30 a.m. meeting, and the use of the term fiscal emergency was invoked to justify placing it on the ballot. Dan acknowledged people are saying this is too soon and too sudden, but warned if council doesn't act now, it's too late. Alec admitted that this is being done in a condensed time frame, and educating voters would have been a heavy lift. It's a heavy lift to do outreach for the public? Lukey. Okay, before asking Glendale residents for another $11 million, show us the alternatives. Show us the cuts. Show us where the money actually went. Show us why existing revenues aren't sufficient, and tell voters honestly that this is a general fund money whose ultimate use will be decided at a later date. Don't frighten people for your own benefit.
All right.